Why in the world was this movie made?
And we're back, and we are here to rate and rank our scores for Alien, the series. We've got 4 movies, but we did 2 versions of Alien 3 since we watched 2 different versions of that. So now the question is, when we do the series average, do we do Alien 3 theatrical and Alien 3 assembly as 2 different movies?
I think we averaged the 2 different scores.
We do?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, cool. All right, so here we go. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Bluetooth
mode.
Bluetooth mode. All right, let's see. We got our sound effects lined up. All right, so how do we do this? Right now, the scores line up like this. Our lowest ranked movie of the series is, of course, Alien Resurrection, with a series average of 6.75. Colin gave it a 7. Harris gave it an 8. I gave it a 6. And Brian Vincent Rhodes, our lovely guest, gave it a 6. Do we have any qualms with this so far? Do we feel like this is
Do
where...
I want to make it higher?
Yeah, you could raise it to 9.
I'm tempted, but I think I nailed this one. I think I was the only one who got it totally right.
Harris, you had a funny trajectory throughout this whole series. You just kept saying, like, I can't wait till Alien Resurrection. I feel like I have a hot take on it. You guys are going to be surprised. And then when we finally got to Alien Resurrection, you kind of shit on it. And you were like...
You know what? I hadn't seen it in a while, and it doesn't...
Despite giving it an 8. Actually.
Well, I do think it's good. I do like the movie a lot. I just think it's so. I don't think I ever watched it in such close sequence with the other 3. Mm-hmm. So I kind of, while I still stand by it being a good movie, I realize that it's really not a very good Alien movie. So for that reason, I should consider giving it a lower score. And I won't. Because it's still a really fun movie. It's a really fun, high-concept sci-fi horror, whatever, but it's really just an action movie.
Well, I think your score of 8 is a little too high for it. I think the rest of our scores balance it out to, I think a 6.75 is like a fair... I think that feels spot on.
A little better than average.
Yeah, well, by scoring it an 8, you've matched the tattoo on the Ripley clone that stars the movie.
That's right.
Yes, so
that's what I was going for just now.
Coincidence?
As an aesthetic
I realized
I think not.
Yeah.
All right. So that is locked in. That's our lowest rated movie so far. We'll see if it gets beat by anything. So Harris has brought to my attention that I should average out the 2 scores of... So we did Alien 3 and Alien 3 Assembly Cut as 2 different movies because they're different enough.
I only watched Alien 3 Assembly Cut. So what do you have as my score for the one that I did not watch?
Interesting. I just put your score, like you scored the same for both, but you've seen the original before.
Yes.
Do you feel like had you watched the theatrical around the same time that you watched the assembly recently, that you would have given them different scores, or do you feel like they're kind of the same?
I think theatrical is always going to be lower for me because I do have a strong position. I think movies should be longer. I think they should be slower.
This brings up...
I think they should be more boring.
Yes. This brings up an interesting point. So, because you are not as prepared as me and Sean Jarrett were, and Harris, I don't know, did you watch both versions?
I didn't watch both versions this time, but I think I've seen the original.
You're familiar with both enough that you... I mean, your score also is the same for both movies. Would you say that is accurate?
Yeah, sure. Well, here's the thing. There's stuff that I liked about the assembly cut that clarified some things, and there's also a lot of stuff that I think didn't need to be there and that I actually missed from the other version. So I mean, they're just different versions of the same. I don't think they're different enough that we should be scoring them twice.
Okay.
Even though they are pretty different.
Do you agree? If you agree, then we won't.
I feel like you're setting us up like it's Matlock or some shit.
I'm just trying to figure out how to score this.
Like, So it wouldn't be necessary for you to
Wait,
cancel the order on the code red.
Were you and Sean like totally divergent? How far off were you in your scores?
Sean gave Alien 3 theatrical a 7, and he gave Assembly a 7.5. And
Oh man.
We definitely need to split that hair.
I gave theatrical an 8, and I gave Assembly a 9. So that's a full point.
That's a full point.
Oh
But
my-
you don't ever do fractions, so who knows?
Well, the average is theatrical is 7.62, and Assembly. Oh, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. That Assembly is 7.62, and theatrical is 7.25.
Oh, so which is correct?
just
That sounds correct, right? The Assembly's like slightly better.
round them off. I don't know. Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Do you want answers?
Yeah. Am I taking the average?
Do
of
you
those
want the
two?
truth? You can't handle the truth.
I'm doing it.
The truth is we live in a world with walls, and we need men to stand on those walls with guns. I forgot the rest of
Yeah.
All
Who's
right.
gonna do it? You, Weinberg.
with your white uniform. Oh yeah, Weinberg.
Oh my! He really leads into the Weinberg there.
Yeah.
And I like that Kevin Pollak has this moment of like, what did I do?
It's like I'm barely participating in this. Why have you singled me out?
All right, so there we go. Our official score for Alien 3, both versions, is
A few good men.
7.43 and a few good men.
7.43. What I get? I gave them both sevens.
You gave them both 6s, you piece of shit.
Wow.
Wow. Harsh.
That's very harsh, considering you give Resurrection an 8.
I like Resurrection better. I'm gonna stick with my sixes. I think that's fairly. It still feels fairly accurate to me.
All right, so that was Alien 3. And now we're moving on to the big guns. Ranked number 2 on our list of 4 Alien movies is none other than the James Cameron classic, Aliens with a $sign.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I did think this was going to be the highest rated one.
Because it's the best.
Well, now
Well-
here's the thing: is like if we make a score change, we could make a big difference.
I don't
here.
think I can make a difference in this one. I can't make it at 11.
You can't go up, but you certainly can go down if you want to. I don't know why you would, but so let's see. Colin gave this a 9.
Which
Wow.
which Colin can't go any higher.
The only way to change is that I have to say it's perfect.
Yes, this could be your moment.
Something I'm unwilling
Wait,
to
do
do.
we all give it a? We all gave it a 10 except for Colin, who gave it a 9?
You, and Jonathan all gave it 10s. Yep. And
Wait,
Colin
then how
gave
could
it
it,
a
does it
9.
then
not
how could it
win?
be lower than Alien? I think you did the math wrong. on
Maybe I
this.
did. Maybe I did.
Yeah, this doesn't make sense because
Yeah.
there can't be anything that's higher than a 10, 10, 10, 9. You know.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's see.
What movie are we even talking about?
We're a few good men.
A few good men.
Oh well, then that Colin did give that a 10.
So let's see. 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 9.
Markinson's a ghost. You're
equals
not going to find
39
Markinson.
divided by 4 people.
Why do I know so many lines from that movie?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I did do
bought
the
that on
math
DVD
wrong.
recently because I couldn't find it anywhere. I was like, I need to watch it.
It's a
awesome.
9.75, not a 9.25. I
That
don't know
makes
where
way
that
more
came
sense.
from.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's like actually not even complicated math.
yeah.
I know.
We really should be able to do that with our
Hey,
heads.
I did it very quickly. You guys watched me.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so wow, that changes everything.
I was wondering why you took your shoes off. I saw you counting on your toes, and I was like, "Oh yeah, he's really in it now."
Carry the
He's
4.
He's doing all his own research here.
Wow. Fans, listeners, I take it back. The movie we are talking about, the number 2 ranked movie, is Ridley Scott's Alien. So now that Colin gave it a 9, Harris gave it a 9, I gave it a 10, and our lovely guest Alex Parslow gave it a 10. Now that averages out to 9.5, which is slightly less than 9.75.
Slightly.
Yeah.
So now the question is, does anyone want to make a change here? I can't because I gave it a 10, and I don't want to go down. So the question is, Colin, Harris, do you guys feel that this movie deserves a higher score or a lesser score?
I'll stand by my original analysis of this movie that it's great and it's almost perfect. And honestly, I think I only had a couple of minor complaints with it. And my biggest problem with it is it's not as good as its sequel, which is just one of the greatest movies ever. So I felt like I couldn't give it a 10 for that reason.
Wow.
And I stand by that.
Wow, bold
Yeah.
statement.
I don't want to. I'm fine with it. I'm good.
Wow, so that settles it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like a situation where I'm like talking to my legal colleague and they've really kind of betrayed my trust in the conversation and they're walking off and I have to tell them, you're a lousy, stinking softball player, Jack.
Yeah. Even if it's true, it hurts.
So stupid. No one's going to get what I'm talking about.
At this point, we've made it clear that that this is your Few Good Men episode.
I'm just making a few good men references.
A few good references.
Yeah, a few good references.
I don't even know if they're good references.
All right.
They're getting more and more obscure.
Well, we call him, it's the pickup private. We call him that because he picks us up. And also he can pick up girls in New York City. So I forgot the line.
Yeah. No, this is good. You're doing good. You're doing God's work here.
So here, just to wrap it up, now we're talking about our top ranked film in the Alien series, one that I've already told the scores to. Let's see, where is it? Colin gave it a 9, and the rest of us gave it 10, averaging out to a 9.75. This is, of course, once again, James Cameron's Aliens with a $.
Aliens.
And making that, must be at least tied for our highest score of any movie ever, right?
Yeah, I mean, if we could check that out, that might take a little.
Where's the director?
Oh, no, I'm making you do more math.
Yeah.
Where's the director bold enough to make another Aliens sequel and call it Aliens with a Z?
Or $2 signs.
Or $2 signs.
Two
Yeah.
S's.
With a Z and then a $sign after it for no reason. I want it to be Aliens, but all the letters are $signs. That's my idea. That's how I'm going to pitch.
Yeah.
Just starts writing $signs on the boards. They're like, "What are you doing?"
I think this
You're going to
is.
be taken as a lunatic.
I think this is one of our highest ranked movies ever.
There can't be anything higher than it. So
There's not, but
yeah.
Casino Royale. I mean, it was only the 3 of us, so it wasn't 4 people.
Oh yeah.
But we give it a 9, 10, 10.
So that math-wise, that will be slightly lower, but still a perfect score-ish.
That's it. That's the only other movie that comes remotely close.
That's the 60s Casino Royale?
Yes. The Peter Sellers Casino Royale is our highest. That is movie perfection. That and Aliens.
So now, here's something, though. Me or Harris could we could bring ours down to a 9, thus tying it with Alien, so that Alien and Aliens are scored exactly the same.
Just to create drama?
Says the person who really wants his Alien score to be the exact same. Well, I mean, you do have that power. I don't, or I do, but I don't feel the need to exercise it. I think Aliens is a better movie than Aliens, so it makes sense that I would give Aliens a higher score.
Well, it's not only you two that have that power. I can go down from you can go down from everything but 0.
Well, if you go down, it'll really fuck things up.
We could have a real race to the bottom. Eventually, all the Aliens movies are rated nothing.
Oh man!
But you know what? I'm gonna make a bold statement. I'm gonna say, in hindsight, I think Aliens is the better movie. I think
it's not much.
So you're not going to go down on Aliens?
I'm not gonna go down on Aliens. Not today.
Yay!
I just wanted to say that.
Well done.
If I'm gonna go down on an alien, I mean, this is the kind of alien that deserves to be gone down on. It's humanoid-ish enough.
It was a very sexy movie about aliens.
All right, so you guys talk amongst yourself. I'm gonna get the series average here.
I mean, we know this movie was always the undercurrent of this movie was this franchise is all about sex.
Yes,
big penis head monsters, weird egg sacs.
Absolutely.
I want to say something really gross.
Maternity. Oh, you're holding back.
Well, when aliens eat pussy, they really eat pussy because their tongue have another mouth.
Yeah,
that's disgusting, Matt. Why did you say
what the fuck?
I thought you were talking about the cat, but I was like, the cat got away. Man.
Oh,
yeah, they didn't eat that.
Jonesy.
Pussy.
Yeah, that's almost like more clever. What I said was just nasty. I'm so sorry.
Just so nasty.
I gotta apologize to the listeners again.
Nasty.
Again.
All right. The question is, will this be our top-rated series so far?
I'm guessing no. I'm guessing it'll be like top 3.
Will it dethrone
not
Mission Impossible?
Not Mission Impossible.
I think it will.
All right.
All right. So
no, because I realize now that I'm wrong because it's just my scores are never going to be low enough. So if I'm the one,
if you're the one who likes it the least, it's never going to take the bite out of it. Then
yeah.
All right, so it comes out to a series average of 8.35.
Ooh, that is really high.
So
Kind of high.
that is pretty high. Let's see where that falls. What am I doing here? Okay, 8.35. So of course we
and
have
to our listeners, I would just like to say that yes, we absolutely could have done all this math in advance and sort of had some idea of what we're talking
all
about.
the silences will be cut out.
But
It'll
no,
sound
don't leave the
instantaneous.
silences in. I think the listeners deserve to hear the process. We're inviting them behind the curtain. This kind of access is usually something you have to subscribe to somebody's OnlyFans to get, and we are just giving it to you
Well,
for
you
free.
know what? It's live. They're
Yeah.
beholden to something great. We're coming up
Yes.
with these scores right now. Like
This
we're making,
genius is just happening live.
we're given the opportunity
You
to,
get to
make score changes
hear
here
the-
in
hear the
hindsight,
math.
and we
Yeah.
don't sometimes.
Well,
Hear the math.
Okay. So here's the order. Our lowest ranked series, of course, was Mortal Kombat, 4.13.
wait, are you
next-
going through all of them or?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were going to go last to first. And
Then just alternate second to last to second to first.
no, I just didn't think he was going to
and
do
then the
every
big,
single
The
one.
big drum roll would be, and in the exact middle,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
the most average movie.
No, I am going from last to first.
All right, we'll go from last to first.
I just didn't think you were going to do all of them.
Can
Sorry.
you guess what is after Mortal Kombat? Or can you remember from the last time we discussed this?
It's not Conan, is it? No, it's Exorcist.
It's Exorcist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Exorcist
fuck.
is a
There's
5.
just too many duds in that one.
5 even. Next up is
Another map.
there's
choice.
another 5 somewhere here. Yeah, here we go. Magic Mike. 5.
Magic
Oh,
Mike.
I'm sorry. Jaws.
Jaws.
Jaws is 5.6. No.
What
yeah,
is-
yeah.
what
5.
is happening? What is looking at
5.67.
Just right.
Then the next
Oh,
one
okay.
is Magic Mike at
Okay.
5.87. Why is that so low? Because we really shit on the second one.
Yeah.
That seems wrong.
What are you remembering the second one being like?
I thought it was fun.
I liked it. See, this is exactly it. I feel like I was having this argument when we were on the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, it's fun. You guys are going to love this.
What the fuck? I gave it a 6. That's relatively high. Harris gave it a 4. The guy who fucking chose the series and chose the movie.
A 4. Really advocating
fun.
for it.
All right. Next up, we've got a couple of 6s here. Let's see. Okay, we've got that one. 6.6, 6.2, and 6.8. All right, so it's this 6.2 is Lethal Weapon. Is next up after the last one I just said.
Magic Mike.
Magic Mike.
Correct.
So that's 6.2. Then we've got at 6.
This is where James Bond comes in.
I
Conan?
think
No,
James
James
Bond.
Bond
Is next. Yeah,
Where's Conan?
6.68.
Conan did pretty well. I
Conan
think.
did pretty well. Yeah.
The only 2 movies. It really helps you.
Yeah.
So then the other 6 is Batman, 6.84.
Yeah.
So then now I'm looking for the 7s. I see Conan is one of them. Is that the only 7 we have?
Colin's got a pretty good track record because Conan and Star Trek both
Oh, Star Trek.
are pretty high up on this list.
Yeah, I think we've got to be in the Star Trek area.
We are. All right, so that's a 7.6, 7.1, and 7.07. All right, so it's Conan at 7.07. Then we've got Star Trek at 7.1.
Wow.
Oh,
And
then
Mission Impossible at
is
7.68.
Yeah, so this
So wait,
is,
where does this fit in? Oh,
So
it's
above
8
everything,
point something.
yeah.
Holy
it's
shit.
in a whole other category.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
We broke the 8 barrier.
We broke it.
Yeah,
Wow.
It kind of makes sense. There was only really one. I mean, there's 2 weaker movies and 2 stronger movies for sure, but the 2 stronger movies are almost perfect.
And the two
And the
weaker
2 weaker
ones
movies are
aren't
pretty
that
good.
weak. They're
Yeah.
like pretty. They're like on the high.
Totally
end of the
watchable.
spectrum.
There's no real trash here. Like that's what even Mission Impossible, which they're all pretty entertaining. The second one is real.
The
Like
best.
it's like a real
sorry.
dud. Yeah. No, the second one's a real dud, and some of the other ones are like a little, more incoherent. But like for the most part, and it's like Star Trek is the same way. It's like there were some movies I didn't really like that much, but it was hard to find a real like, oh my god, this is awful, except for the first one, just because it's so fucking.
Oh, I thought you were going to
boring.
say except for Final Frontier.
Yeah. Well, we broke the 8 barrier finally.
Yeah.
We did it. Wow. So we're locking that in
One of the
as our.
greatest franchises.
Best
ever,
series
as
so
it
far.
turns out. Not a big surprise. Not a big surprise.
So now that brings me to my next point. I think I had briefly mentioned to you guys that at some point we should bring in contenders we should do a bit where like we did our 2 for series. We should do a series
rivalries,
huh?
Rivalries, matchups.
No, I was gonna say we each pitch our pick for best series, like what or best franchise. Like if you had to pick right now and put your vote in, what
of
is
these?
of
all?
For our next franchise pick that we get to do. Like for instance, Lord of the Rings. If that's a 3 movie, like people say all 3 of those movies are great. That as a franchise, those 3 movies work together really well, and it's like it works. But now, do you consider The Hobbit part of that franchise, and does that tarnish it?
No, I think the originals really dwarf the competition.
Yeah. I'm still not entirely certain what we're talking about, but so we would, if for our next franchise, we would all nominate something that we haven't done that we think is I thought that's what we were doing.
Yeah, well,
it is kind of what we're loosely doing, but I mean, we pick ones.
That's just trying to pick bad ones.
I just picked my best one, Aliens.
We pick ones for fun too.
Yeah.
I picked Jaws for fun.
Well, that's why yours all suck. I'm actually trying to pick stuff that I enjoy.
Wait, but my picks. You know what we should be doing is as we go on, whoever somebody's out of the 3 of us is winning.
That's what we should be doing.
Whoever has the highest average of the movies they pick.
Yeah. Oh, that would be a good competition. I mean, he's going to do okay because he's got the Bond ones, but that's his only redeeming quality. All his, we know who's in the last place in this contest. Is what I'm saying.
But I'm not entirely sure, but I think I might be in first.
Yeah, we might be. Yeah, we'd definitely be pretty competitive. Although I just nailed Aliens.
Oh, so Aliens is you.
That's
yeah.
what's gonna. That's putting me over the top. I got the top 2, so it's pretty.
Yeah. No, but I'm.
Yeah. What do you have? Trek and Batman.
And Conan.
Conan's up there. That's right.
Yep. Yeah, I think I'm definitely. This is pulling up my average quite a bit. Although it's like. Any one of us could have picked.
Well, now that I realize
the first one to do it.
Now that I realize Harris is winning, I'm not as into the idea. I thought I was doing a little better.
I mean, this begs the question: like, what franchises do we have left to cover? What are some biggies that we're like looking forward to in the future of this podcast? I was thinking, just someone mentioned something. You mentioned something in the other show about Luke and Leia, and I was like, Star Wars. I mean,
Star Wars is a big one.
That's something we could do.
I don't know how you'd break up the Marvel stuff, but that's kind of like.
I
definitely don't want to do that, but that's.
I think if we ever do Marvel, that'll be like the last thing we do, and then we'll end the show after that.
then we will murder, suicide.
Well, there was a lot of pushback on this, but there was talk about the Jay and Silent Bob franchise as a franchise,
which obviously would be a great one.
The Kevin Smith extended universe.
Yeah, let Matt pick that one and just pull down that average even further.
I'm just going for the lowest.
Going for the bottom.
I love when Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I'm sorry, this is just a reference to something that happens in that movie. But when they escape the diner by pretending that the chimpanzee is a child, and Will Ferrell lets them go, and then waits a few beats and goes, "Fuck beans, that was them."
It's so bad. So dumb.
What about it's not one of my favorites, but what about Robocop? Robocop is a kind of it seems like it's in our wheelhouse that we've never even really discussed doing seriously.
That's an interesting franchise because obviously the first one is a classic.
Yeah.
The second one is pretty good. It's got some interesting things going on.
Aren't the first 2 the only theatrical ones, though?
Oh, third one came out.
The third one was theatrical.
I remember that. Robocop with the Rocket Man backpack.
Yep. And the 2 like Chinese ninja bad guys who are robots too, I think.
Boy.
Oh.
And then it's a different actor playing Robocop too.
I don't really remember that movie, but I remember that I did watch it, and I think I sat there like this the entire time with like a face like,
I remember watching it like a few years ago for the first time and thinking like, okay, I don't know anything about this movie, just that it's a lesser. It sucks, right? But then watching it, and I was like, that wasn't too bad. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's the reboot. Do we count that?
Oh, that would probably be a bonus movie type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Rambo is a very long franchise that we haven't done.
I was thinking if he has a rocket pack, then we should do Rocketeer as a bonus movie. Anything that has a rocket.
That's a good point. Good suggestion. Rambo and Rocky too is another one. So those are 2 that we could do. And I guess Creed would kind of be separate, but
I think Rocky would be really fun because I think there's some
really good
comical
ones.
things that we could.
Which one, Rocky?
Yeah.
The whole franchise.
But see now, I would say we should do Creed separately, but the character of Rocky is in Creed.
in an
so
important part of Creed.
Yeah,
So it's
so
almost like I feel like you have to. Those are bonus movies, but I mean, I would at least, we've talked about like Prometheus and stuff, and I'm like always out on that being at that counting. I think it's different. I would definitely entertain the idea of Creed counting towards the Rocky franchise because the character is there.
The only reason I agreed with you to do Alien this way is because Alien is really the Ripley story.
Yeah.
And it's like 4 movies about revolving around the character of Ripley, whereas the other 2, Prometheus and Alien Covenant, have aliens in them and they're in the world. They're totally a separate franchise.
This is
They're closer to AVP than they are to
just like Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah, but I think Creed's different because I think Creed is featuring strongly the Rocky character and sort of finishing his story in a lot of ways. So
Yeah.
I think that makes sense.
But now, so Creed 3 is on its way. I don't know when that is scheduled
How do
to
we
come
time
out.
this out?
We could.
Is who's directing it? Is our buddy Steve?
No, it's Michael B. Jordan is directing it.
Oh, really? That'll be interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
taking a real Sylvester Stallone trajectory on that.
Or reverse trajectory.
No, he didn't direct the first one. He
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So the same
Right.
thing. It was like he was like, "Oh, I'll take over and direct."
That makes sense.
Harry Potter is a franchise we have yet to cover.
Mhm.
Yep. Twilight.
Twilight.
I think Harry Potter would be interesting because I've never seen those
Any of them?
later movies.
That's
I've seen like the first like 3,
Okay.
and I liked the first 3. I thought they were getting better, but I just never bothered watching the rest.
Now, Harry Potter as a franchise, like, we might not be in the demographic for that, but some might say that is a series that like is consistent all the way. It stays true to the books, and it could work as a.
Like I said, the ones that I've watched were as an adult, and I enjoyed them thoroughly. I don't think they're like necessarily just movies for children.
I still hope we do Twilight first. That looks
Speaking of
so disgusted by Twilight.
Speaking of Sylvester Stallone as a director, one twofer that we've never even discussed is Saturday Night Fever and Staying Alive.
Oh my God, that's right. We could do another 2-for series next year.
Are you saying Stallone did not direct those? Did he?
Sylvester Stallone directed Staying Alive.
He didn't direct the first.
With Travolta?
The sequel to Saturday Night Fever. Yep.
Fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we could bring
series.
the 2-for back next year. That could be a thing.
Of course,
we do.
my big one that I think, like, if I was gonna, I don't want to tip my hand too much for future episodes, but
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, like I think The Evil Dead would be like a big one that's like being overlooked for me, that I think is fascinating, flawed in some ways, and you still have never seen Army of Darkness, have you?
That's true.
Oh my God,
That's
the
the
best
only one in the series I've never seen. I've even seen the reboot.
You might not like it because it's also the funniest one. It's the one that gets the farthest away from horror.
Yeah, I might
but
still like that.
It's fucking incredible. It's so good.
Super good.
There's a couple of crazy ones like Fast and Furious. That's another one.
Oh, that's long.
Yeah, that's another one that
I do that.
I kind of like some of these ones that I haven't seen before because, like, I've watched a few Fast and Furious movies, but not that many, and I've watched a few Harry Potters, but not that many.
Yeah.
Whereas some of these other ones that I'm like, I've seen enough of them that I'm like, yeah, that's.
If we did cover Lord of the Rings on the show, would you guys do Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit together, or would we have to keep those separate?
I would separate them personally, but I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like they're two separate stories. Did you know there's a fan edit of The Hobbit that's like 3 hours long that's just combining the 3 movies into one thing that's closer to what the book is?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if we could, like, when we do that, if we could watch that
one?
and do like a bonus
I
on
bet,
that
yeah,
or
I bet
something.
we could
Yeah.
find that somewhere.
I love fan cuts. I love alternate cuts.
I love
I'm
fan
all
cuts
for
too.
it.
What about the Godfather one? What is that called? Do you know the Godfather
Ooh.
one?
The Godfather Coda?
The Coda. Yeah, that's
Where
it.
it's in
Death of Michael
chronological?
Corleone. Oh, no, you're talking about the TV. When they aired Godfather on TV,
Yeah.
they did a television recut that told it starts off with Vito in Italy.
And they do all
and
those scenes
all the
together?
Robert De Niro scenes in order, which is like,
Why would they do that?
I've never seen it.
I've
It seems
watched
like
it. It's 9 hours long. It took a day.
It seems like it would not work because so much of what's in that second movie is cutting back and jumping back and forth between the 2 plot lines and how they sort of bounce off each other.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like that wouldn't be as interesting.
I mean, The Godfather, though, is a series that
Yes.
we could definitely do.
We have to do the Godfather.
And I think we should watch the Death of Michael Corleone Coda version because it's really not that much different than the third one, but it is better.
You've watched it?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Wait, I don't know about that.
They just did a re-release where it's like Francis Ford Coppola re-edited the third Godfather.
Just the third one?
Yeah,
Oh,
just
yeah.
the third one.
Well, here's a
And-
question. I've never even seen Godfather Part 3. So should I watch Coda right away first, or should I watch the
I
original?
don't know.
There's really not that big of a difference, but I thought Coda was definitely the better movie. It was just less Sofia Coppola centric, which is already making it, sort of improving it in a lot of ways. And it was a lot more about Michael, which I thought was interesting.
Now, I've read about Godfather 3 on Wikipedia and stuff, and like reading the old reviews and things like that. And I've never before seen the negative reviews hinder so much on the single performance of like one actor. Like that's really like everyone seems
What,
to
of Sophia?
Yeah.
Oh.
All the critics like seem to say that they like the movie, but her performance is so bad that it ruins the movie.
And when I watched the recent one, Coda, and I was like, hadn't seen it in forever. Watched The Godfather 1 and 2 all the time, and hadn't seen The Godfather 3 probably since I was like in my early 20s. So almost 20 years, 20 years, yeah. So I was like, we were all so hard on Sofia Coppola, and I really love her as a director. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch this, and I'm gonna be like, what idiots we were. She wasn't that bad. And I just every time she's in a scene, I'm just like, oh my god, she is not an actress. This is just, and I feel so bad for her. I don't know. Like,
All right,
what
I've
is
got-
bad? I know I have to see it. What is bad about her performance?
I've got a hot take. Her performance isn't as bad as Eli Wallach and his worst performance of his career in that movie.
Eli Wallach is charming in that movie as he is
He's-
everything.
He's like 100 in that
He
movie.
is like 100 movie, yeah.
But he's bad in it too.
No,
I think he
He's
is
good.
actually
Well,
compared to Eli Wallach. What you expect from Eli Wallach, I think,
but
he is
kept
bad.
he kept on acting for years after that too.
That's true. I think Pacino's performance is not the strongest Pacino.
It's definitely in that era of Pacino where he was like yelling a lot.
Yeah,
at
that's my
everything.
thing. Yeah,
and
What's his big line from that movie?
every
They
time
keep
I think
pulling me
I'm out,
back
they
in.
pull me back in.
yeah.
Yeah,
then
no,
that's-
she's
yeah.
just like, it's like when you cast your friend in something and their line delivery is like they've memorized it and are saying it out loud. And I kind of wonder, like, did she want to be an actress? And her dad was like, oh, great, I'll cast you in a movie. Or was his dad like, hey, you're so pretty, I want you to play this lead. I wrote this part for you. Like, what happened?
She is pretty in it.
What happened that ended up with her in this scenario where it's just like, oh my God, you just, I don't know. It's kind of, it's lives
It's a
up to the
sight to
hype.
behold.
There's a big. I don't want to do spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's it's a very Andy Garcia heavy movie as well, and he's good in it, but
He wears a leather jacket well.
Wears
in
a
that,
leather
if I'm
jacket.
not mistaken.
yeah, that's cut like a blazer.
Yes. Yeah. That's always good.
Oh, I can picture it. I've seen it.
Yeah. Oh, I can picture that because our words were so visual.
That's some good work.
Oh,
out
the
of,
Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is another one. Eli Wallach.
Oh, we got to do that. Yeah.
That's a great one.
Eli Wallach is much better than that. That's my favorite Eli Wallach. Eli Wallach
Oh,
in
yeah.
Magnificent Seven. I'm sure some people think is better, but they're wrong.
No, I think most people are decided about the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah.
Eli Wallach being the best. I mean, he might be the best
He's
part
the best
of
part
that
of the movie. Yes.
which is when you're in a movie with Lee Van Cleef and Clint freaking Eastwood playing his iconic
Doing what
character.
they're famous for
exactly.
doing. Yeah.
It's like hard to be like, oh, this other guy just came and stole that shit.
Yeah.
Personally, I think Eli Wallach's best role is The Holiday.
Oh, he's in The Holiday?
He is good in The Holiday too. He was really good. I don't think he got enough great iconic moments that really, but he was great in everything he did.
They just put Holiday on Netflix, and I want to watch it so bad, but you got to wait until it's like Christmas season,
Yeah.
or at least Thanksgiving or something.
don't know if that's true.
No, you have to. It's
You
against
have
the
to.
law.
Yeah, it's the
No,
laws.
you can watch it anytime. It's
The
totally
laws.
free
Have you ever
country.
seen? There's a famous clip of Jack Black being like, "I'm not in a Christmas movie," and they're like, "What about The Holiday?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot I was in there." He's like a main character.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park. That's another franchise we could do.
Yep.
There's I don't know what else. I've run
Well, there's the horror ones that
There's
I'm
so
always a
many
little
horror
bit-
ones,
Yeah,
yeah.
Those are those like sort of high quantity, low quality movies.
Freddie,
Even
Jason,
the good
Scream.
ones. Yeah, even the good ones are. Scream is one that actually kept the
Michael
quality up, and
Myers.
that's coming. They got a
There's
new one. coming
one.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
a new
saw the
one.
trailer last night. Yeah. Yeah. I
The
mean,
Basket Case trilogy.
oh my god, the Puppet Master.
Did they make
Yeah.
a second Jack Frost movie where with the rapist snowman?
Oh my god.
Please no.
He you know where he puts that carrot. He uses his
don't
his
wanna
nose for a penis.
I'm just trying to pretend you're not saying this.
It's not a good movie.
Oh my god.
Oh, really?
Well, I think we've said it all.
I think we said too much.
I think we've teased a couple of things. So we've got some big stuff in store. Obviously, we just announced Blade. We're doing Blade next episode.
Mortal Kombat.
It's not the same song.
Yeah, well,
right.
I guess if you have suggestions, hit us up on our social media. Or,
Hey, now you're talking.
you know,
Yep.
if any of these are way a little heavier than others.
What is our social media? License to Watch podcast with all underscores separating the words. So
And all the words are made out of numbers.
No, they're not.
we make it as difficult as possible.
It's
It's license _to
To- yeah.
watch
It's all
_
just vampire
podcast.
glyphs.
yeah. Vampire glyphs. When are they gonna? When is Apple gonna get on their game and?
Yeah. Why is
Yeah.
there no vampire glyph keyboard on my
Okay, license to watch podcast with underscores in between the words.
Yeah, I just said that.
And it's the word 2, not the number 2.
Well, that's good. That's good to know.
All right, well, do that, people. Contact us. Let us know your thoughts.
Tell us how great this episode was.
yeah. All right. Bye.